Hello and welcome to Adding Fins. This is the third part of the Onchopristis modeling series. Before we get going, I just wanted to let you know that I did finally release my how-to guide on sculpting a realistic Spinosaurus in Blender. If you would like to check that out, I would greatly appreciate it. I think you would be able to get a lot out of this course. So thank you so much, and let's get going with the modeling course.
All right, so welcome back. We just finished working on the side and top perspectives. One thing we want to do is just go ahead and rename this, and we'll just call it Oncho for short. So you can do an FN, F2, and I'll just call it Oncho, maybe just shark. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start adding in our fins. So you can see the fins start about here. So we'll just go ahead and tab into edit mode. And I can go ahead and just kind of maybe see in the side perspective where things kind of start. So maybe somewhere about here. Now let's see how accurate that is with the top. Maybe we can go back one more, but we'll go ahead and see first. Sometimes the fins end a little bit higher, or it kind of is hard to tell where things are. So you can also refer to the pure ref. And I have these other references here. This might be reorganized somehow, but this is just a modern day saw shark. So feel free to refer from any of these photos. So you can see how the fin kind of tucks under here, and it's not attached, I don't believe. You can see this one as well. And we also have this image of a Spinosaurus and an Onchopristis. And it looks like the fins kind of are a little bit higher up. So maybe I won't go back as far. So maybe the fin like detaches somewhere up here, but it just has that extra bit there. So I'll go ahead and deselect this face, and we're just going to start with this. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and do an inset up into our top perspective. We're going to do a G and X, pull this out. And what I'm going to do is actually rotate, grab, rotate, and grab again. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into our right perspective. Now things are going to look a little weird. So let's go ahead and scale on the Z. I'm going to rotate, GZ, just go ahead and grab that down. And once we feel like we have everything relatively aligned, we can go ahead and start playing around with the kind of shape. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab these two and just grab these verts and move them over. Probably grab, honestly, everything, these three faces. And again, I'm just going to scale on the Z. Maybe I'll do median point. So maybe something like that. Rotate, grab. And we're going to want to keep this a little bit further away from the body. I know it's pretty close to the body, but when you want to rig and whatnot, it might make it a little bit difficult. I'm just going to pull that away. And I'm going to select these last two verts. Go ahead and grab them. Pull them a little bit more towards the body. Like that. And we're going to go ahead and do another loop cut. Just right in the center there. And grab these two vertices. And sort of shape what we have here, following the silhouette. Now you can see we didn't do this side, so you can either do an A to toggle everything, an FN, F3. You can type in symmetrize. Now it's going to disappear. You're going to be like, what the heck is going on? So in your symmetrize, you can see we have the direction is the negative X to positive X. And you might be wondering, well, how do I know which one? If you go up to your gizmo, this one's actually positive and this one's negative. So that's one way you can tell. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap this back. So now we have something like that. You can also go ahead and delete half of this. So as best as possible, you can just go ahead and select. And looks like we have selected everything that we needed. All right, so you need to do X. Actually, we don't want to delete the center. So I'm going to go ahead and do a control. Keep the center of it, everything. So everything running through. Like so. So now you can go ahead and delete verts like that. Looks like we missed a whole bunch. Do X, delete verts. So now you can see we're left with half of the Onchopristis. Now you can hop over to your modifiers panel, add a modifier, and you can go ahead and search for mirror. And there you are. So now we have our Onchopristis mirrored. So now we don't have to worry about symmetrizing. All right, so with that done, we can go ahead and check out the shape of it by doing Control-1. And so that's how the fin is starting to turn out. Now we're going to want to manipulate this more. Obviously, they didn't have a fin that's quite this thick. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that off. But we'll go ahead and continue adding in the other fins. All right, so we're going to probably start somewhere around here. Let me go ahead and check with our top. And of course, we're probably not going to be able to see our top reference. But let me go ahead and hide the Onchopristis. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see it, obviously, because it's silhouette, but it was worth a shot. All right, so based on the side perspective, maybe we're probably going to want to start it here. And you can see it kind of goes around, up, and then through. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and inset. And you're going to want to hit B for boundary to make sure that it snaps to the center of the mirror. All right, so something like this, and that looks fine. Let me go ahead and extrude and see where we're starting. Maybe we can move things around a little bit. So let me go ahead and grab these edges and just do a GY. Kind of shift everything down a little bit. GY, something like that should be totally fine. All right, so let's go ahead and extrude and just grab. And again, I'm probably going to rotate. I'm going to hit scale. So grabbing these verts, I'm just going to pull them along. Somewhere about there. And right about here, let's do a loop cut. I'm going to do an S, Z, and 0. I'm going to pull this down. And right about here, I want to extrude out to get this little tail fin here. Scale that down, grab. And we could probably move these verts a little bit further down the Onchopristis. So I'll just go ahead and move that. Go ahead and reposition everything if you need. Or, I guess, things as you need. All right, again, you can do a Control-1 just to see how things are going. Oh, now you can see that the mirror isn't quite catching. So I'm going to want to go in edit mode and make sure these are touching the center. Now, if things are overshooting, what you want to do is turn on clipping. So now when you pull it to the center, it will snap like a magnet. So I'm going to do that with these verts. Just go through GX and down under here. All right, so now we have this. Now this fin is way too thick. So let's go ahead and grab the outside faces and just do a GX and pull them in. You don't want to go too far. So let's make sure things are not clipping with the mirror. So I'm going to deselect this last face. Just do a GX. And now I'll go ahead and just go in here with some verts and move them around. All right, so now you can see we have something like this. And I can see that I missed snapping these together. All right, so I'll do a Control 1 just to preview, and that's fine for now. Of course, you can see that when you turn on subdivision, that the mesh is no longer following the silhouette, and that's okay. We'll go ahead and fix that. For now, we're just getting in the primitive shapes. All right, so we'll go ahead and leave this lesson off here, and we'll go ahead and pick it up in the next one. So great work, and I'll see you on over there.